Well, coming up on today's show, Jaguar Land Rover cuts jobs in the UK, blames diesel, but electrification could be its saviour. Jaguar closes the year with its I-Pace sales number. Good, bad, ugly, I'll let you know. And there's a big boat bobbing up and down in the Pacific somewhere, and it's packed full of Teslas heading towards Europe. Where is it? What's the latest? Keep listening, I'll let you know. Well, good morning, good afternoon and good evening. In fact, wherever you are in the world, welcome to EV News Daily. It's Saturday the 12th of January 2019. It's Martyn Lee here, and I've been through every EV story I can find today and picked out the ones I think you need to know about. As always, thank you to myev.com for helping make this show. What myev.com is all about is making the transaction of an EV as simple as possible. Whether you're buying or whether you're selling, the last thing you want is for it to be a big hoopla. You need to know the information you need in the right place at the right time for you to make the decision that you want to, and learn about EVs as well. Last story today on the podcast is all going to be about that. Let's start with talking about Model 3s, though. Walter MacVane on Twitter, who is at EcoHeliGuy, says the Glovis Captain has started to be moved by Tugs. Well, the Glovis Captain is a weird name. Glovis is the name of the boats which carry, I think it's like 60 of them, carry freight all around the world. This one is, but the Glovis Captain is the name of the boat. Anyway, it's heading towards the Panama Canal, bringing some Model 3s to Europe. The ship was built in 2015. It can carry about 6,000 cars. We don't think there are 6,000 Teslas on it. In fact, one of the pictures showed there were a few left on the dock side. Now, why would Tesla's Model 3s be shipped to the boat in San Francisco, but not be loaded? Why would the boat leave, why would the ship leave, and there still be Model 3s on the dock side? Maybe there's another ship coming in for a second wave, who knows? Lots of speculation today. Oh, actually, by the way, there was quite a few people, like Tesla haters and the Fudsters online, who really hated the fact that the rest of us were talking about a boat heading towards Europe. Like, oh God, more tweets about a boat heading towards Europe. Deal with it. So we'll keep you updated on the progress, which will be slow. I think it travels at about 12 or 15 knots. Panama Canal, then across the Atlantic and to Europe, whether it goes to the Netherlands, whether it goes to Zeebrugge, whether it goes straight to Norway, whether all of these cars are Norway bound, we don't know. We'll find out soon enough. Well, a car maker that has been struggling this year, Jaguar Land Rover, is set to cut around 10% of its workforce because of a slowing demand in China and a drop in diesel sales in Europe, according to media reports, says James Fossdyke for Motor1.com. Great website. The BBC says that the Coventry-based manufacturer is cutting around 4,500 of its 42,000 staff, so 10% of the staff being cut. The company is thought to be targeting managers and marketing roles rather than those on the shop floor. The company, which is owned by the Indian firm Tata, is commonly known by the acronym JLR. Jaguar Land Rover is Britain's largest car maker. Global sales took a tumble last year. The firm's invested heavily in diesel engines. Nearly all cars sold by Land Rover are diesel engines. What's going to save them? Well, perhaps electrification. By putting a plug socket on the side of those diesels, you could well save a few jobs. And whilst I wouldn't necessarily be the first in line to queue up and get a diesel hybrid or even an electric hybrid car that had a plug, if it can save some jobs, if it can be a transition, I'm trying to think big picture here. In the UK alone, the number of new diesel cars registered fell by 30% in 2018. Talk about the cliff edge. Diesel has gone right off it. Well, Jaguar did sell a few electric cars. Not the wider company, Jaguar Land Rover, but Jaguar, the brand itself, sold about 2,230 I-Paces in the final month of the year in December. And that means that we now get a big number for the year, by the way. An indication of the production that's going on at the moment. Mark Kane at Inside EV says the total result of the year, 2018, 6,893. Let's just call it 7,000, should we? It's just the beginning, and we could be optimistic about the 2019 figure if you take the run rate, the production run that's happening in November and December for the Jaguar I-Pace, and were to apply that across the board in 2019. It's a big assumption to make. They could well make 30,000 of them. Well, I say Jaguar could. Jaguar outsource the production of the I-Pace. It's certainly a car that is much loved here in Europe, and another EV that is supply constrained, not demand constrained. I'll put a link to Inside EVs in the show notes. Well, given how often automakers expect electric car drivers to charge at home, anything between 80 and 90% of the numbers that I regularly see, whether it's a survey or whether it's a automaker saying where they expect their customers to charge, it's in that ballpark. By most estimates, it's pretty much 9 in 10 charging instances of an EV is done outside where you live. It's surprising that more attention isn't paid to making sure that the drivers charging at home get the most out of home charging. And now Amazon and Audi are adding some more details of the partnership that we heard about on launch day for the Audi e-tron. They said that Amazon will be fitting the chargers. You can organise it through Amazon. That's a big sign. If I was an electric point fitter anywhere in the world, when Amazon gets into a business, first of all, it validates that business, and it also means watch yourself, because they're coming for you. Amazon have now got 3 tiers of charging on a special website page. They have called it Standard, Better and Best. Well, Standard is something that wouldn't apply to many places. Standard, it would be 110 volt. So it wouldn't apply here because we use 230, 240 volt. Wouldn't apply in somewhere like Norway where they have 3-phase. But if you're in the US, you have 110 volts, then that would be the standard charging. And holy moly, if you charge an EV at 110 volts, you've got some time to wait. Then there's Better, which is Amazon upgrading that to a 240 volt socket. And then there's Best, which is a proper EV, some EVSE EV charger on the wall of your driveway, your garage, where you park your car. Now, through the Audi program, there are 2 chargers available. There's a 32 amp ChargePoint home charger or a Juicebox Pro. Now, that is offered in 40 or 32 amp versions. Both offer voice control via Amazon Alexa and are UL listed and Energy Star certified. I love the idea of telling Amazon's Alexa to start charging my car. I think you can even ask with some skills, which you have to enable and download them to Alexa. I think you can even ask how much battery my EV has got, but I think that is maybe brand specific. I know that I've never even looked in the Alexa app store for anything that I could do with a Renault Zoe. Maybe something exists, but if you do use your Alexa for talking to your EV, let me know how you do it in the comments or email. It's hello@evnewsdaily.com. Well, the mayor of one of our towns in the UK is getting involved in EVs. The mayor of Guildford. If you've never been to Guildford before, oh, it's a lovely place. On Twitter, the mayor of Guildford said this: "Just love spreading good news this morning. We launched a first in both Guildford and the south of England, 9 EV buses. The first town in the country to employ electric buses dedicated to park and ride. Great to lead the way. This technology can go Guildford." Well, yes, maybe they're putting some caveats in there. The first town, well, London's got a ton of them, but it's a city, and the first one to operate on a park and ride. So you drive your car. If you park and ride, you big car park outside the city centre, and you leave your car there, and you get a bus in. The buses will be pure electric. It's awesome news. I think all of these stories are great for PR, by the way. 9 electric buses in a town in the south of England. Okay. 9 diesel buses off the road, good thing. 9 electric buses changing the air quality of Guildford, doesn't happen. I think it's good for PR, it's good for getting it noticed, it's good for getting on people's radars, but it should be every bus in Guildford that we're doing, and not slapping ourselves on the back going, oh, 9 buses. Well done, did 9? A whole 9? Jolly good show. It's not, though, is it? Every bus should be an electric bus because it's being done in some cities around the world. There is no excuse not to be doing it where you live. Well, moving on, and General Motors essentially put a fork in the hybrid car technology yesterday and announced that the Cadillac is going to lead its upcoming EV charge in the US, reports Fox News, who are very pro-electric car in this article. Well, the GM president, Mark Rees, revealed the first information about their third-generation battery electric platform. It's going to launch with the Cadillac brand, by the way. So going as big as a Tesla Model S, that luxury as well. The Cadillac model, with the first of many, though. He described it as being able to accommodate front, rear, or all-wheel drive motors, a variety of battery sizes, using what he described as the ice cube tray design. I get that. It's like a mental image that he's drawn immediately, the ice cube tray design. I can see they've obviously got a platform and you just drop in as many cells as you need for that spec, depending on the requirements. Answering one particular analyst's question about the future of hybrids, he did say that they are a countermeasure to the internal combustion engine. The resources, however, all of their resources are being now directed towards fully electric cars. And there are great cars in the US that you have, we don't here in Europe, like the Chevy Volt, by the way. I've yet to hear from a Volt owner who doesn't utterly love their Volt. And of course, production stops in just a matter of weeks now, which is a big shame. I'll put a link to that in the show notes so you can read more. And finally, myev.com. You've heard me mention them once or 150 times, have put a new page on their website. I saw that today. It's in their EV 101 section. And sometimes if you've been kind of into electric cars for a long time, you forget that there was always a first time when you came across kilowatt hour, whenever that was. And this is interesting. 2019 will be the year of people getting into electric cars, but needing to know the basic terminology to take part in the conversation. That's exactly what myev.com have done. So they have totally gone back to the beginning and been like, what are the terms that everyone needs? So amps, batteries, charging, DC, fast charging, horsepower, and ICE, what is an internal combustion engine, kilowatts, kilowatt hours, level 1, 2, 3 charging, lithium-ion batteries, MPGE, range, regen, REX, state of charge, torque, ZEV, zero emissions vehicles, BEV could have been on the list as well, FEV, PHEV. There's lots more they could have done, but it's a really good way of starting off. So well done to the team at MyEV for providing some resources for those people who are interested in getting into electric cars sometime in 2019, but needing to know a little bit more. Welcome to the Patreon gang, Adam. Now, Adam Rittenor, or I think that's how I would say Adam's name. Adam is a new supporter of the podcast, and sir, thank you very much for your support. And if you too would like to check out what it's all about, patreon.com, patreon.com/EV News Daily, to help get this show on the air 7 days a week with bonus shows for those to exec producer level or more. Let's get on to this week's question of the week. You've got one more day to get your answers in, and it's this. If a fossil driver who came over to you, maybe while you were plugging in, or if you're not an EV driver, someone knows that you're into this whole electric car thing that's happening, and they said to you, what's the one thing that I should know about EVs? What do you tell them? Email me your answer, and I'll read it out on Sunday's show. The email address is hello@evnewsdaily.com, and you can leave a comment in the show notes as well. Thank you to that 159 patrons of the podcast, one away from 160, and I'd love to add your name to the list. Thank you very much, Phil Roberts from Electric Future, our premium partner. You can check him out, ef.energy. Hi to electricmotoring.net. If you are hiring an EV in Chicago, maybe you've never thought about it, but now you think, I'm going to be in Chicago or the area, and I'd like to play with a Model 3 or a Model X P100D for a day or a week or sometime more. Check out electricmotoring.net. And hello to Brad as well. Brad Cosby, a very generous supporter of this as a premium partner of the show. There are 354 previous episodes of the podcast online for you to download instantly and for free. Subscribe to new ones to get them first and automatically every day. And if you can leave a little review in return, that'd be amazing. Well, in the meantime, catch up on the socials over the next few hours for the rest of the day, and I'll be back with Sunday's show, which answers off all of our question of the week, my impressions of day 2 and day 3 from my #weekend Tesla. Got it till Monday morning, and lots more as well. Oh, and my impressions of the Autosport International show. All of that tomorrow. Well, catch up on the socials by searching EV News Daily. Do have a wonderful day, and I will catch you tomorrow.